It's your Wednesday night conversation. It's more than just the gossip. It's the issues that matter most to you. A closer look at current events, just the tip, special guests, and more. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, Arizona's longest-running drag live stream. Hosted by Felicia Fifi Minor and Freddy Prinze Charming. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Oh, you know what? I got ready so quick, so fast that I didn't even move the mic. It was over here. I was like, huh. So, good news is that we can see numbers this week.
We will be able to see all the chats because it won't be
the audio's cutting in and out. It was probably because I had my mic way over here.
Probably.
It's still saying Facebook user.
Why?
But if Facebook user could tell us their name, I don't know. Anyway, but let's get on. We got a lot to talk about. It was
really. I found it was kind of a slow news day. Personally,
it was a slow news day.
I don't think there was all. I mean, I guess there were some things, but I didn't.
Happened. Some things happened. Some things.
I didn't catch a lot of what was happening.
Anyway, so welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. This is your Wednesday night conversation. This is episode 16 of season 9. Wow. Season 9, episode 16. And I am Felicia Fifi Minor, and I love Freddy Prinze Charming's hair.
And I am still Mr. US of A. My classic.
Wow.
Still.
Wow.
Yeah.
But as we get
I mean, this will probably be done. We'll probably have a short show, 15 minutes done. We don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, totally slow day. If you're listening on the podcast, yeah, it was just totally a completely slow day. You don't need to map out a whole hour like usual. So you're fine. You're fine. Just kidding. Anyhow, we want to thank our 16 patrons who support us on patreon.com. Allison, Best, and Brandon, Cassandra 1S, Cassandra 2S's, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Kim, Joan, Jody, Leanne, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Shelly, and Sassy C. Diaz.
Much better, thank goodness.
Yes, I've been checking on her all week. Special thanks to our friends and supporters, Cassandra 1S, that would be Cassandra Porter, and not Sassy CDS, Patricia Mason, for taking the deeper plunge on Patreon. Well, on top of all the things we have going on, this month, our fundraiser is us.
You know what? And I think that's totally okay. We've been raising money for a lot of people outside of us for a while, but fuck.
So on Monday, I tried to start the fundraiser on the 1st, and then Facebook, because I do all my fundraisers through Facebook, wouldn't let me because it wants to know how I'm using the money. And I said, I wrote out what I've been typing all week in the Facebook fundraiser. And it said, we need to know how you're using the money. And I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this. So I decided, fuck it. But we're gonna go ahead and do our fundraiser on PayPal, and we're raising money because Old Faithful here, you can't see her, she's sitting over here, but went out, doesn't connect to the internet, doesn't do what she's told. She sits out. She's more than 10 years old. I know that for a fact. But so we are raising money on our PayPal, and if you send over a certain amount, I wrote out all the little tiers. Then we send you a T-shirt, a mask. We mentioned you on the episode, and at one of the levels, I believe it's show. So here we go. We want to thank Shannon Black of Free Mom Hugs Arizona for pitching in and supporting us, as well as Jeremy Bright of Ripple Phoenix.
We appreciate y'all. And trust me, we've been doing this now for what, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've ever really like.
So one thing that somebody asked me was like, why are you doing a fundraiser? Like you do it from home. So this costs money. The services we use cost money. The maintenance on the computers costs money. So right now I'm using the laptop that I use for my business. And if that goes out, then I don't really have anything.
Right. And the laptop that I'm currently using is older and barely has the specs to like it's and my other laptop is like a basic like Chromebook type of thing. Like it's just a basic Acer with like I think it's like a Celeron processor, so that's not going to handle jack shit. So yeah, like yes, we do this from home, but like for me, I had to get like, because we were now doing this from home separately, this shit behind me, all the backdrop, the frame, all of that shit. I had to get a webcam. I had to get a
so up until now,
like you know what I mean? Like this shit costs money.
So a lot of the things like the new mic I got, the new mic I got was a good fortune. Some other things too. I bought these lights, but that was more on my own accord. But it still costs my own money, and for the duration of this show, neither of us have gotten paid for anything. So we appreciate our sponsors. We appreciate those that support us on Patreon. We're just trying to save up. Cassandra, that is so nice of you. Even though you're doing the deeper plunge. But I say that I appreciate everybody that can pitch in $1 or $250. That's the highest one.
Or you know what? If you got your stimulus and you don't know what to do with it,
just send it all to us. That's fine.
Because I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm one of those phenomenal people that when you
you haven't?
Nope. I got my first one real quick. This one, I'm one of the ones I have a sneaky feeling I'm gonna have to put it in with my tax return, which is gonna piss me the fuck off. But we'll get that.
Oh no!
I'm gonna talk about that later because that's part of our.
No! You mean the slow news day?
How was your weekend?
How
was your new?
Everyone in my house fell asleep before even 10 o'clock, I think. Because y'all know me, I cannot go to sleep like that early unless I'm like knocked out or have been exhausted for the whole day. But we didn't really do anything. So I was just like, oh. But before that, we went to the World of Illumination, the Arctic Adventure, which is like a drive around thing where you just watch lights and music, but it was beautiful. The main reason we went was because we wanted the baby to experience it, but she fell asleep. So,
Facebook user is Joan.
Where?
Okay, so I figured this out real quick. If you go to the group, if you go to our group and click on the video that's in there, then you see the ones that say Facebook user. If you go to our page,
so maybe I should make the group more public.
I don't know, but it's annoying.
We don't have a public group because people were starting to be weird.
Well,
I mean, weirder than us,
right?
Like spam. So I was like, private. So maybe I'll put it to public, and then next week it'll show up as your name. So sorry. That's weird. It at least should show me. I have permission to be in there.
Yeah, no idea. Anyway.
And then, did I bring it in here? I did. I got this delightful gift. See if I can take them out without.
The other one is Francis.
Hi, Francis. Where's Marissa?
Marissa, I think is. I'm not sure, but we can see her comments, so I don't know.
So I got these delightful art pieces. So they look like they're printed on actual dictionary, but I don't think they are.
I think they yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they are pages of the dictionary.
I think they're supposed to be.
It reminds me of the days that my mom during summer made me write the English dictionary. I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then so I saw the flamingo. I was like, okay.
Like, no, I just sent you pages of the dictionary. You're welcome.
I was like, oh my God, yes, you can. We can see you when you're in the group. I guess you can't see. That's my fault. I'm so sorry.
And now it's not even playing in the group.
It's not?
No, now I'm looking at it and it's not. No, it's nope.
Why do you hate me?
Wait, now it is. I don't know what the hell it's doing. I don't know. I just work here.
Barely. But I got these from Freddy. I don't know if I finished that thought, but maybe I should show them closer because you have to be able to see the detail.
Meanwhile, the saga with the bear and the moose continues on my end.
Oh, that's right.
I got yet another bear and moose towel holder thing.
And I showed him the order. I ordered it again.
Don't know why. I don't know why. But yeah, still have another bear and moose towel holder thing.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
I don't know what to do. Hi, Joan. I did check on Joan this week because she was a little bit heavy on my heart. I was like, I need to check on Joan. Because she just had surgery and things.
I know, and she's doing things like baking, which I'm not sure she's supposed to be doing, but
as long as it's not heavy lifting.
I
mean, I don't know.
So my New Year's Day was actually pretty chill. We actually on New Year's Eve day, we ended up just driving north. We were like, we want to get out of the city and just go look at trees and shit. I don't know. So we just started driving and just kept going. We just went north, and then next thing you know, look, there's snow. So it was cool. We drove up, and I didn't know where we were going. We were just driving, and I got off the freeway at one point and drove around and found a little trail kind of thing. So we pulled off, and it was so quiet. It was. There was no one, and it was silent. You know that dead silence that you get when everything is covered in snow and there's nothing. There were no birds, no nothing. It was just quiet, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was so nice out. It was cold, but it wasn't biting. It was cold, but it felt so good. And then we because it was so cold, we're like, well, we're not eating anywhere because if we ate anywhere, we'd have to be outside, and I'm not sitting outside in 30-degree weather, so fuck you. So we stopped and got sandwiches and then ate them in the car and then drove home and got home before things were crazy. And
I do want to say that I spent part of the weekend in bed, not because of COVID, but because of allergies. Now, I was on the rant with all of you who were posting about don't do that because my dog is freaking out. Okay, so our dogs weren't freaking out too bad, but I got all that nastiness in my lungs, and my asthma and my allergies were having a little heyday with me. So I was down for the count, I think, on Saturday. So y'all, if you're gonna do that fireworks in your neighborhood, make sure you do them away from your house. Make sure you, I don't know.
No, don't even. Just don't. See, my lady friend's birthday was on Monday.
That's right.
And she had to go back to work, which was really shitty, but whatever. But we found a sushi place that had like a practically empty patio. Like there was nobody on this patio. So we sat on the patio and had sushi for dinner.
Wow.
And y'all remember the 2 cats that were dumped on my patio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to, one of the boy kitty has gotten fixed. He is neutered and he is in my bedroom for the next couple days, and then I'll actually be able to come out and hang out with everybody else. Now the girl kitty, we were going to get her spayed, but she was pregnant. Yeah, but she was probably pregnant before I got her. But she's so young and so skinny that she didn't start showing until she was about ready to pop. So
you have kittens at your house?
Oh, no. I actually talked to Missy. Missy found me a foster.
Oh gosh, I was so.
I don't know. Do you remember Lisa? Lisa had some of the cats from the cat lounge.
I think so.
Yeah, she's got her because she's got the room and she's got the time for the kittens. Because I'm like, there's no fucking way. And I had a sneaking suspicion that because she was so little, like, because she's barely, I don't even think she was maybe 6 months old. So it's a kitten having kittens. And I'm like, I have a sneaking suspicion that if this cat is allowed to have kittens, I'm going to end up bottle feeding him. So no, that's not happening. So yeah. But she's safe. She's with a really good foster. And I've gotten in contact, so I'm going to get updates and stuff because I can't wait. I'm kind of excited to see what the kittens look like. Because she was so unique looking. But yeah, so
Laura, I don't have COVID. Thank you, though.
Y'all need to shush. You don't know my life about the cat. He's fun. Whatever. God damn. You don't know my life. But he is fine and he's super snuggly and he passed out with me all week, all night last night, and he was very, very sweet. So he's doing fine. Young Mama Kitty's going to be doing fine. I have complete faith that the foster is going to take very good care of her. So there's that.
Oh, also, if you listen to us via podcast, while I was in bed, I took advantage of my time, and all of the episodes are up to date, and hopefully I can keep them up to date. So, all of the episodes are up, and had some people that weren't subscribed to us but follow us. I see you. But yes. So if you need to catch up on Let's Have a Fefe, we're all up there. Especially if the kitty is snuggly. They are reading it.
Y'all, I'm just ignoring them. I'm ignoring them. Whatever. I'm ignoring them.
Oh my God, they're coming for you. So before you jump in, today's slow news day. If you weren't watching the news, I don't know where the fuck you were. But yes, we're live right now.
It must be new.
But if you notice today, a little bit of difference, a lot of anger A little, not a lot done about that anger today, and I believe, in my own opinion, that was racist. We'll talk about it more later, but
so
Mhm.
because of that, and because the events of the day did have some, I'm gonna say, slightly racist undertones, just a little bit, just slightly racist undertones. I'm gonna give y'all 10 tips on how to be anti-racist. And being anti-racist is a little bit different than just being anti-racism. You can be anti-racism but still have racist tendencies. So I'm just gonna give you 10 really quick things, and a lot of these are things, if you've listened, or if you've had the opportunity to come to one of Teddy, Michael, and I's presentations on From Allies to Accomplices, Leaping into Action. We talk about a lot of these on there when it comes to being trans allies, but there's a lot of intersectionality there, and they can be applied across the board 100%. So, number one, education. A lot of racism is based in denial, and what you need to do
What?
right, learn about the real history, like the real history, not the shit that they teach you in schools that completely whitewashes everything. Learn about the roots of systemic racism, because that is incredibly important, and it's something that is still existing today. The information is out there. Like, all it takes is a quick Google search, I promise. And you need to not expect your BIPOC friends to just do all the labor for you, because it's
It's
not their
exhausting.
job to educate people that are not of color. It is not their job. Number two,
And it's exhausting.
and it's exhausting. It's tiresome. I know this because of, the amount of time that I spend trying to educate people on trans things, that, like, literally it's this dumb shit that can take 30 seconds to Google. Like, come on, put in a little effort. Number two, intention. Make a conscious effort to change not just your way of thinking, but your behavior and your actions. Be very aware of what you say and do. Like, and it's not just, I'm gonna not be a racist. Like, you have to have intent. It has to be intentional. You have to make very conscious decisions when
Effort.
it comes to things that things that you're doing, or what you say to people, or around people even.
And don't just say, get over it.
Right. No, never say that. Don't fucking say that. Number three, courage. And that's for anybody that is not a person of color, that is not Black, that is not of any heritage, that it's not just we have to learn to sit with the discomfort that comes with white fragility. And that's a thing, okay? We make excuses constantly. We try to explain it away. We try to say, well, I didn't do that, so who the hell cares? Why are you mad at me? Blah, 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 blah. Acknowledge the truth that comes with that discomfort, and the defensiveness that comes with all of that, because it's a thing. It really is. It's absolutely a thing.
Absolutely.
Number four, individuality. BIPOC folks have been lumped into groups for centuries. You're talking racial stereotyping. You know what they are. Black people are lazy. Mexicans are dirty. Blah, blah, blah. Stop thinking in terms of groups. When you think about groups, whether it has to do with race, whether it has to do with gender, whether it has to do with sexuality, you end up feeding into those stereotypes, which is extremely harmful. And what you need to do is step away from the groups and focus on the individuals. And once you can see people for individuals and not just this group, then you become, it's easier. That this leads into number five. It becomes easier to see the humanity in them, because number five is humanity, and you need to stop dehumanizing BIPOC folks.
This is a huge one. So when I was growing up, I was told that I need to be 125 times better than what my counterparts will be.
Yep.
Because as soon as I walk through the door, I am seen as a second-class citizen who does nothing. And from a young age, you get that. You get that walking out the gate. Go to school. Make sure you do. This is not for everyone, but in my case, it was do better, do better, do better. And when I wasn't doing better, it was like, you can't do this. There was like a high standard that was held for me, I guess, because of the dehumanization of a group for many centuries.
Right. They're often seen as less than. And I hear people, talk about folks that fall under the LGBTQ umbrella as, getting the same sort of treatment. And to some extent, yes. However, the difference is that if I walk in somewhere, I can hide my trans status. I can hide me being poly. I can hide me liking boys and girls and everybody in between. I can hide all of that. You can't tell just by looking at me any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that people of color cannot hide who they are. They can't hide their skin color. They can't hide any of that. So it's kind of apples and oranges when it comes to that kind of comparison. So number 6, anti-racist work. And what that means is this is where it comes down to like grassroots things. You need to support policies that support BIPOC communities. You need to educate others about systemic racism, and you need to hold people accountable, whether it's politicians, whether it's local leaders, whether it's community leaders. You need to hold people accountable. The more that you say, you either ignore it or let it slide or whatever, that's not doing the work. And you can't just be like, well, I'm not a racist. Okay, but I saw that you saw this, but you didn't say anything. You just let that slide. You didn't call them out. You voted for things that were going to really be detrimental to communities of color, but it's okay because that's not how that works. You need to support the policies. You need to educate other people, and you need to hold people accountable.
And don't expect your friends that are people of color to be the ones to inform you or educate you about these things. Also, if you have a friend that is a person of color, and don't use them as your excuse to be anti-racist.
To be a racist, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 is equality. What needs to happen is, honestly, all groups of people, regardless of color, religion, ethnicity, sexuality, gender, whatever, everybody needs to be on the same footing. And that's a big problem. No one is any more or any less deserving of anything. Me being white doesn't make me more deserving of, good housing. Me being white doesn't make me more deserving of a better job. That's not how that's supposed to work. So it really needs to be, everything needs to be on equal footing. And that's a harder thing to do, especially if you're not in a position to sort of make that happen. But if you are in a position to make that happen, specifically when it comes to things like housing or jobs or anything like that, then you really need to make sure that you are doing that. And that's not this affirmative action where you have to hire that one Black person over there because otherwise, everybody's going to be getting on your ass. That is not equality. That's not equality. That's not equality. Number 8 is empathy. Empathizing really moves us towards connection, compassion, and courage. And we need to be able to empathize rather than sympathize. Folks don't need your sympathy. No, you need to be able to empathize. You need to be able to put yourself in their shoes. You need to be able to find a way to acknowledge and to understand what they're going through and where they're coming from, because otherwise you're never going to be able to do any of the above things, because you're just going to be doing it at a surface level, and that's not going to help anybody.
Correct.
Yeah. Number 9 is allyship, and this is something that Teddy and I talk about a lot, obviously.
This is a big one.
Actions speak louder than words. Be active, be uncomfortable. You need to amplify BIPOC voices. You need to listen to BIPOC voices, and you need to partner with BIPOC individuals and groups. And like that's how you're an ally. You're not an ally by going, I'm an ally. That's not how that works.
Also, that doesn't mean, I'm going to say this very carefully, but that doesn't mean starting fights with people on purpose. That doesn't mean tagging all of your friends that are people of color. You don't
No, that's
do that.
That's not amplifying. That's putting people on the spot and expecting them to do the emotional labor for you.
And I'm like, don't want to be tagged in this. Delete.
Right.
I say that if you are going to be an ally, you educate yourself, you come forth to the conversation as an individual, not necessarily speaking for a group or for an individual, but learning what the right things, and then saying what those right things are. And if you have somebody that needs to be brought to the conversation, invite them. Don't, because I feel like, I feel like when you tag me and stuff, not you, but when people tag me and stuff, that's like, oh, this isn't right. And then I'm like, okay, now all the people that have commented on this now expect me to be as knowledgeable and to speak on it.
Right.
To be honest, I myself have learned or unlearned some things and relearned some things during the whole 2020 that I'm still learning. So I can't be a spokesperson sometimes, especially on some subjects. And I know that. But it's just
Teddy and I, during our presentation, we talk about leaping into action. And leap is listen, empathize, amplify, and partner. And those are the 4 key things if you're going to be a real ally. Those are the things that you really need to do. And the last tip on being an anti-racist, and this may seem really simplistic, but honestly, the last thing is love. And I know that it sounds awfully simplistic and very like blah, 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 right? But that's not, it's not like everybody needs to love everybody. It's you need to be open to it. And if you are open to it and you are willing to really open yourself up to giving and receiving love, that's one of those ways that you can really boost all the other things. Because if you don't have love for these people, if you don't have love for the differences, the legitimate differences, like stop saying I don't see color, because that's a bunch of bullshit, or I love everybody regardless of color. No. You need to love people because of their differences, not in spite of. And when you start doing that, then things can really, then you really start feeling that passion. And that's when you can really start getting in there and doing all the things that need to be done to be a true ally, whether it's to folks of color, whether it's to the trans community, whatever it is. You need to love people because of their differences and not in spite of them. And once you're able to do that, then I truly feel that passion to really get out there and educate and learn and do all these things will start to follow.
And we are a little short on that at this moment. I don't. Instead, we're amplifying bad voices. We're amplifying hysteria. We're amplifying conspiracy theories.
Ugh.
I being in the comments today.
I
don't usually comment, but I think I got involved. I got involved to a point where I realized that this doesn't come from a year of Black Lives Matter.
No.
This doesn't come from me saying my side of the story. This comes from people, generation after generation, being told stereotypes and letting that be the lay of the land of where they live or how they function. So I know a lot of people that have taken it upon themselves to find out what they feel is wrong, like history. Some of the things in history look like you skipped a page in the history book.
Right.
And people all the time go, wow. I've been educated by some white people or people that are not people of color. So I mean, it goes both ways. I told somebody the other day, I feel like I'm learning to be Black. So, and the history behind me and a generation centuries ago that was brought here. So it's just so many things that today was like, it bubbled over. It got on the stove. We all saw it. The house is burning.
Speaking of the house burning, and
that was good, huh?
So, if y'all were living under a fucking rock today and weren't paying attention to literally anything, here's a little bit of what happened. So this morning, Trump tried to get Pence to throw out the votes that weren't for Trump. Like, he was like, no, you just need to get rid of them. Pence was like, no, I'm not going to fucking do that. I have to uphold the Constitution, you twat waffle. And then Trump turned around and made him a target. Like, literally threw him to the wolves on Twitter and everywhere else. Literally
on
just
Twitter.
made him a target. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then Trump called for his supporters to march on Congress.
And he did that. Let me see if I can put a picture up.
Did. Fucking... So what happened was Trump supporters actually managed to breach fucking Capitol security and enter the Capitol building.
Oh, like this. Wait, see. No, not that
one. There was basically no resistance from security. In fact, if you look at some of the videos, you see some of the cops basically unlocking the gates and letting people in. Like, yeah.
I can post some of that to the Let's Have a Fefe Facebook page because I have some of those bookmarked on my phone. But there's like a weird thing with my headphones in my phone. I can't touch my phone or it'll ruin the live stream.
They managed to make it into the fucking onto the Senate floor and into Pelosi's office.
Mm-hmm. The guy that was sitting on, let me see if I can find that picture.
Pelosi's chair.
Yeah, Nancy I always spell her name wrong. Thanks, Google.
Keep in mind, the National Guard was not called. They were actually told to stand down. And I don't know if you guys remember what happened when there were BLM protests in the Capitol. There were fucking National Guard everywhere, fucking full riot gear, whole 9 yards. But because these folks happen to be white as fuck, there was nothing.
This is the guy,
the doors
right?
And let them in. I don't know.
That's
I can't
him.
see anything.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Oh. That's wonderful.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's him. Let's see. Should I click on the picture? Oh, here's the picture of what he wrote on the desk. We will not back down.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what's going to happen to him, if there are going to be any legitimate charges, because dude,
this is them crowding after they were trying to get them out, and then they broke this window to get them out.
Yep.
And then here's another one.
The media keeps calling them protesters and rioters. No, they're not protesters and they're not rioters. They're fucking domestic terrorists.
Oh, look at that.
Plain and simple. Fucking terrorists. That's all they are. Terrorists.
He stole a postcard.
Pisses me out that, like, oh my God. Like, yeah, right. You can't fucking take somebody's mail. That's a federal offense. Like, I hope these people are nailed to the wall. But again, I don't think they will be. Like, I honestly think that it's going to be no, we're not going to do that now. You guys need to go back to your trailers. Like, that's not, no, like it's a bunch of bullshit. And then after all of this shit went down, Trump posts a fucking video on his Twitter and tells everybody that they need to go home and they're very special people and we love you.
I saw that before he took it down. I unblocked him this morning to figure this all out. So I will tell you that Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter took all of that down because they would have left it up, but the thing about social media platforms has been, since he put them through the ringer, this was their payback, and I love it, is that you have to be factual in your video. And so it was flagged immediately as, the first 5 seconds. He says, this has been, they cheated, they stole it. And so it was like, and they took it off.
His Twitter's been suspended for the next 12 hours.
Yes. Why do we take so long, though? So for those that feel like people should have their own minds, please understand that this is a person of leadership. This is a person of authority over the whole country that has amplified these people and stirred them up so much that they believe lies. It doesn't matter if they fact check it, they believe him. And
literally seeing pictures of Trump supporters storming the thing and they're like, it didn't happen. Really?
So the big thing that I keep seeing online, and maybe you can explain this a little further because I get kind of upset about it, is that it wasn't Trump supporters, it was Antifa that was there.
Which is really funny because,
I just remember that it's not an organization, but did they create an organization, and how? What?
So first of all, Antifa literally stands for anti-fascist. So they're not going to be storming things to try and keep Trump in office because Antifa is literally against everything that Trump stands for. So
they were doing it. They were just doing it to make Trump supporters look
right. They because that's what everybody did. Is they everybody,
even though they were all wearing MAGA hats,
were there from Black Lives Matter too. This was like a conspiracy between Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Bitch, did you look at the pictures? I didn't. No.
No. It's okay. Everybody was in whiteface. It's fine. So everybody from Black Lives Matter and Antifa from around the country decided to go to the Capitol and pose as Trump supporters and do this because that makes perfect sense.
And to the lady that kept arguing with me that Black Lives Matter was started by a white person, please sit down. Please.
Jesus Christ.
Have several seats.
I can't.
So many of, including Black Lives Matter, put out statements saying, well, in the summer, you sent tanks, you sent army guards to various cities when only 25 people were protesting peacefully and not doing anything, and barricaded the turn on the National Guard and get people out there. It was the mayor of DC that requested the National Guard because the National Guard was going to go out there, but the DOJ
said no.
And the only person that can call off the DOJ is okay.
Yeah.
So
and so out of the and you remember when Trump said that when the looting starts, the shooting starts? There are pictures of people literally taking shit out of the Capitol building. But
let me see if I can find that guy.
Yeah, not shot. There was in fact one woman shot and she died later, but there's been no information posted, so I'm wondering what the actual situation was. Interesting.
It's trending.
As of a little while ago, there were 5 guns seized. But there's not a lot being said about the pipe bombs that are being found and things like that. Which, and at least 13 people were arrested. 13.
Oh, wow. Only 13?
13. If the people that had done this were, I don't know, black, there would not have been 13 people arrested. Everybody would be dead.
So a lot of people are saying that, including me, I've had this thought that if it was a crowd like this and we had gotten past the fence and and gone up there, we would have been just bloodshed everywhere. Here you have a white man waving at the camera, able to live long enough to carry that out.
Yep.
But here we are. He probably didn't get arrested. It will be very telling in the next couple days if any of these people are arrested.
There are so many of these people should be charged with federal crimes, everything from treason and inciting a riot. There's so many fucking things, that
and
these
some people
charged with.
I can't believe this. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but there were cops with the people that were breaking into the Capitol. Not only did they take a picture with them, they took a picture with them and then let them in. Watch the video.
So
he takes a picture.
I saw a few posts. I saw a few posts today where people are like, "Why are y'all asking where the cops are when you don't ask when you see when you don't see Miley and Hannah on the same stage."
Yes, what happened at the U.S. Capitol was vile. Trump supporters at the state capitol cheered when it happened. They did, and the police disappeared for a little bit. My question is, why weren't we prepared? Ask that again. Why weren't we prepared? Okay.
All the cops were busy. They were working on storming the Capitol.
This right here.
Mm-hmm. Yup. But
we have good news, right?
We do have a little bit of good news. Praise little baby Jeebus, because oh my fucking god. What sucks though is that this good news was overshadowed by all this bullshit.
But that's Trump's way.
Of course it is, because you want to
controlling.
Right. But it doesn't fucking matter because it still fucking happened. Fucking Georgia pulled through, y'all. Georgia pulled through. They won.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Fuck.
Congratulations.
2 blue Senate seats, which means that now fucking Moscow Mitch is the Senate minority leader and he can go fuck himself with a giant fucking jelly dildo in the ass with no fucking lube. Thank you. Fuck. I don't know about y'all. I woke up this morning and was like checking because like when I went to bed last night, they were still counting, and I was like, "Oh, come on!"
And on TV throughout the night, they were like, "Oh, it's just so close. Oh, it's just so close." And I'm like, "Oh, Lord, come on."
For a hot minute, Red was winning in one of the for one of the
One of the
states. So I was
races.
like, "Fuck!" Like a couple like that one was awfully close. That was way too close for comfort. But Raphael Warnock is now he's only the 11th black senator ever. How old is this fucking country? 11th black senator ever. He's the first black senator from Georgia, which is very surprising considering the massive black population that is in Georgia. And he's the first Georgia Democrat to be elected to the Senate in 20 years.
Whoa.
So bravo fucking Georgia for finally pulling your head out of your asses and doing this thing. And Stacey Abrams is a fucking hero.
And Stacey Abrams is key on telling all and every interview that she didn't do it alone. I don't know people by name. I wish I had put them out, but she knows that she did not do this by herself. To me, she is just so.
She needs to be put in charge of something. I don't know what, but she needs to be put in charge of something.
Dear Joe, put her in the cabinet. Hurry.
Like, she needs to be there. Like, something needs to happen because while she didn't do it alone, she was instrumental in getting everything organized and getting things moving and really lighting a fire under people's asses.
So I want to say, because didn't she run for governor?
Yeah, and lost.
Okay. So this, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between, this is how you use your energy when you lose to do something that you need done. Simple as that. Yep. You use the energy to do something positive. It's just so mind-blowing that people are like, they cheated. When 4 years ago, they were like, get over it. Hillary, get over it.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised? I mean, think about the culture that Trump has fostered over the last 4 years. This is exactly what he wanted. This is he needs to be charged with sedition. Plain and simple. He needs to be charged with sedition. He needs to be convicted. Like this is I know they're what's her name is drawing up impeachment papers again. New impeachment papers.
I don't remember
because
her name.
I'm terrible. I'm so bad. But yeah. His ass needs to be dragged hard. Like
I just have never. Where'd he go? Seen anything like this? Wow, he just dropped off with no notice. What just happened?
I don't know. Am I still on? Where did you? There you are. I'm like, where did you go?
You dropped off. You dropped off completely, and I was.
On my end,
dropped off. My big ass face.
Off. That was really weird. On my end, you froze.
My big ass face was on the screen.
Oh, interesting.
It was gross. But I will say that this is what I've been saying from the very beginning, from the ground up. Be careful who you vote for. Know who they stand for, what they stand for. That is very important. I said who they stand for.
Yeah.
Because we've seen now that people think that Proud Boys is a conspiracy when there's an actual website that I can pull up and send to the people. That the KKK has nothing to do with influencing elections.
Right.
When I can pull up evidence on my own in an academic research.
The KKK had so much influence over the years. Like
That, ladies and gentlemen, is very much the thing that is driving this whole scheme, is because one group feels threatened after being in control for so long that they fear that something's going to dangerously happen. I'm not sure what that is, but we have now in Georgia elected a Black man who's a reverend at the Ebenezer. Gosh, why can I never say the name of this church? But it is where Martin Luther King Jr. Worked and developed the civil rights movement.
Yep.
We have a Jewish man who is a documentarian. How do you say that? He makes documentaries.
Documentaries.
Yes. But he saw. That's what I'm saying. Like, just run for things. If you feel like something's wrong, fix it.
Yep.
Do all you can to get in the right place and fix it. Now we gotta stop letting these bozos just come up in here, because that's what happened. We weren't paying attention to the elections. We just said, vote for whoever, and then we got these crazy people, and people are like, where'd they come from? And you're like, oh, you voted for them.
Right. These are the people you brought into office, you dumbasses.
Or you never went to the polls, so you never knew where they came from.
Pretty much the same as just letting them in, because no opinion and not doing anything and not caring is very much an opinion. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, not doing anything is just as bad.
So while 2021 is telling 2020 to hold its beer, we still have a national pandemic, or world pandemic happening here, folks. I don't know if y'all realized, but just because the clock struck midnight on the 31st doesn't mean that COVID went away. Here in Arizona, phase 2 of vaccines are due to start rolling out on Monday, which means people like teachers are able to get them, which is great.
And school staff.
And school staff, yes. So regarding the stimulus, so what happened is the second stimulus, I posted an article earlier, the second stimulus won't automatically be sent to a lot of people. I apparently am one of those people. Fuck you guys.
Why?
So when you what happened, or what's going to happen, is when you go to the IRS website, you can actually check and see what the status is of your stimulus, just like you can with the status of your refund. And apparently, if the thing says that there's not enough information, what'll happen is when you go to file your taxes, there's going to be a space on there for you to not claim it, but you're able to say, hey, I didn't get this, which they can verify. So don't try to double dip. Okay, dipshits. But you can say, I didn't get this, and it'll be added to your tax return, which is a bunch of horse shit person. Right. I'm like, so really? I have to wait now to file my taxes to get this? Like, which makes no fucking sense, because the first one was fine. The first one came through fine and dandy. So it doesn't make sense that the second one would be any different, but apparently it is. Yay, America, where we managed to make things more complicated and just enjoy the fuckery. Because why not?
And also, on that note, some people noticed that the account numbers or something was different than what they filed or something like that. But if you file through H&R Block, there is something, there's a couple of articles that are written that it's like some random number, because that's what H&R Block uses to, like, you know, they funnel through, they take a portion of your tax return or whatever when you file, if you opt to do that that way. So
yeah, so it's really fucking stupid. Really fucking stupid. Also, Arizona has the highest rate of COVID in the world for the second time. Yay! Mind you, this is just Arizona, not the fucking country. Just Arizona.
We're higher than India, who has a higher per capita than the United States. Let me run that by you again. Arizona, this little piece of land in the middle of a country, has higher per capita per like 1,000 people than a country that is like overflowing with population.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag winning.
How are we doing that when they have no place to be social distance in India, but we do?
So this might have something to do with it. The fact that Arizona also has the highest number of people moving to the state during the pandemic, which I'm guessing is probably because our shit never closed. Everything is still open and douchey doesn't give a shit. So if you're living in a state where they've actually done things like shut things down like they're supposed to, and are really enforcing things like masks and stuff, or
Like California,
right, then you're going to want to move here because our governor doesn't give a shit.
Oh, speaking of not giving a shit, it must be a family thing. Oh my God. So, Doug Ducey, can't believe he has a spawn.
I know. I wouldn't fuck him.
Gross.
Like, not you'd have to fuck him, and you'd have to you'd have to let him do the thing inside you.
Have you seen him?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to show that picture. Oh, what are we linking to? Yay, we got a troll.
Yay, troll.
No, it's not a troll. Is it a troll? I can't see. But Doug Ducey's son was in photos, on video, at a party, maskless, and no social distancing at all at this party. What do we do? He is 20, 21?
I think he's at least 21 because he's drinking.
Well, his dad's the governor. He can do whatever he wants. But I believe that if nobody's listening to Daddy, why should we listen to Ducey?
I mean,
so I believe in my own free will that I will wear a mask until I feel like we have reached a point where nobody is dying at a high rate or nobody's getting cases of this at a high rate. But Doug Ducey's son isn't the only one.
No.
So did we put that on here? I just remembered. But so I don't want to point you to this account, but if you ask me what the account is, I'll tell you. So there are accounts on Instagram popping up everywhere about people going on vacation, some of them being at events, including, what is it, Puerto Vallarta? Is that right?
Vallarta.
Tons and tons of people were allowed to come in,
including some queens. Yes,
two were spotted, from what I can tell, but probably more.
I think there were two recently, and then one more earlier.
Correct. And then these people were in tight quarters. They were maskless, and the politicians that run the country, that run the area, allowed this, gave permission for this party to happen. There was one instance where there was a party boat in this same area that went down, and many people, sorry, I'm laughing, were commenting, well, maybe they shouldn't have gone. Also, celebrities like Tyga and who else did I see? I saw a tweet. I saw a whole bunch of people having wall to wall, kind of like the size of my room, it looks like, of people, them on the stage, very far away from people, of course, but their bandmates not wearing masks. The people in the crowd not wearing masks.
Nope.
We totally have forgotten that we are in the middle of a pandemic.
And then you have all the gays with their damn circuit parties and shit that were happening on New Year's and stuff. Everybody was out at their white parties and whatever, just having a gay old time, no fucking mask, shoulder to shoulder, doing all sorts of dumb shit. Like,
So that is Dr. Fauci, who I just realized that we celebrated his 80th birthday, who doesn't look 80. But he said that we are going to get worse before we're going to get better. People are not taking this seriously. They are meeting in groups. Nobody took not when I say nobody, I mean like there were a large number of people that didn't take precautions when it came to family gatherings, when it came to being in public places, and not just in Arizona. I mean, everywhere. And there's a second wave hitting the UK. I have a couple of friends that live over there.
With a mutated version.
Correct.
But they're shutting down their borders. Like England has now shut down travel between, I believe, like England and Ireland, and no, just within the UK. Like they shut down travel within the UK. Because shit, they need to get things out of control, but not us. So
also Taiwan has closed their border for tourism. You only are allowed to enter if you like live there, or it's necessary that you come in like emergency wise. But it is very, very interesting to watch people just continue on like as if life like March didn't happen at all. Like we just
Indonesia's borders, I believe, are still closed. My dad and my stepmom weren't able to go this year because everything was they're not allowing travel from the States, which I don't fucking blame them. We're ridiculous right now.
Now, are your parents wearing masks?
Yeah. Oh no, yes. So. The fact they're staying home pretty much all the time. My dad is fucking ancient. So like they go to the store and that's about it. And not to mention he's at extremely high risk because his health is by no means like, yeah.
That is a very long. For the last 4 years, I have been attacked by all sides, Clinton supporters, Trump supporters, and Biden supporters, all because I have brought this up. I don't understand what your question is. I don't see a question. It's very long.
So
yes,
today,
Silky.
So today in Arizona, we talk about numbers. We are up to 574,680 cases. 9,444 deaths. We're currently at a 27% positivity rate. 27%. Today, we had 7,206 new cases reported with 127 new deaths. Yeah. Nationally, we are at 21.1 million cases. And 357,000 deaths. We're still averaging about 1,000 people a day dying.
By the middle of 2021, we're predicted to hit 500,000 dead.
So let's see. The question is, we talk about unity today. Well, how can Democrats and Republicans reach out to someone like me who was attacked all because I brought up valid and fair criticism of Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and President Trump? So here's the thing. For me, a politician is a politician, and no politician is going to be perfect. Ever. It's not going to happen. There's no one politician who is going to tick everybody's boxes all the time. It's not going to happen. It's not. The thing is, though, is that, and the people that really understand it know that the two-party system is broken and needs to be done away with. However, we're not there yet. We're working there. We're working on it, but we're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I think that is important to remember and to really look at is if you're someone that's really looking at the different candidates and things that are out there, you know, there at this point, there's not going to be a lot that someone's going to be able to say to change someone's mind. It's just It's really not. Like with the stupid campaign shit and all the stuff that was going on this year, nobody's mind was changed. It wasn't. Everybody already had their shit already made up. The thing is that there are, I mean, there it is possible to have someone who is literally a really, really bad human being in charge. We were, for the last 4 years, and has been obviously with what has happened today and what's been going on in the last few months, is we've literally had a dictator in office that has been right up there with the ranks of
Hitler.
Mussolini, of Stalin, of Hitler, as far as influencing his followers, and to the point where they're inciting violence. And I don't know that that's ever happened before here. Not to that extent. Like, not to the point where
There was a point where somebody tried to burn down the White House, but I'm not.
well, but it's a lot of times when that happens, it's sort of done on their
Revolutionary.
own accord. It's like, oh, I don't agree with this, so I'm just gonna go burn shit down or whatever. But as far as
A U.S. president doing it? No.
as far as leaders go, and as far as trying to convince people, I don't know that what anybody is going to like. Anybody's going to be able to say anything that's going to convince someone one way or the other at this point or anytime really in the near future. And I know that might sound cynical, but
as far as I go,
I think you're doing your own research is probably going to be better than trying to listen to someone that's like, hey, you should do this because this. I think doing your own research, talking to people that you respect, talk to, whatever, if you have friends that you respect, if you have family members that you respect. But again, you have to pay attention and you have to listen to everything with a grain of salt, because a Trump supporter is going to tell you that no Trump supporter has ever said that Trump has any bad qualities. I've never heard one single Trump supporter ever say that he is not perfect. Whereas I have, on the other hand, as far as this last election, I talked to plenty of people that were like, Biden was not my first choice. Biden wasn't even my second choice. Biden was not my third choice, but by God, he is a fuck ton better than what we've been dealing with. And when it comes to presidential elections, for me, I often think less about the candidate and more about who I think he may be putting into his cabinet. And that is a big thing. You can already see that Biden is going to be putting members into cabinet that are actually going to be doing things that are actually going to be productive, as opposed to Trump, who put everybody in cabinet and they either quit, got fired, or got arrested. So
your choices. For me, I always look at the policies. For me, it's more on who is the person that is looking like they will be not on my side, but will stand by me. If Donald Trump walked up beside me today, he'd probably be dead. But I don't see him telling me that he supports LGBTQ rights. I don't see him saying, there's not equality in this country. I don't see him saying that. Now, as far as deciding candidates and the fair and valid criticism that you go through, I say that each person, we've gotten to a point where we have cancel culture, and it's gone way beyond, I think, what we have done in the past. We publicly stone people basically on social media. But the people that are arguing for certain candidates need to come with valid reasons, need to come with valid facts, need to state why they are standing by that person.
not alternative facts.
Yeah, but also say why you are not going with that person. And if you were to, what would you ask that candidate to change? There's never, like Freddie said, there's never going to be somebody that is just solid gold that hits all the markers. Yes, we had a couple that were outstanding. Yes, we applauded Obama, but there were still things that I can say this. There were still things that I wish that he had done while he was there. He made great strides, but 8 years is not it's not a very long time to change a country that has more than 200 years of history and has had things that the way it's always been done, or this can't change because it's just so many things. I would never want to be in charge of the country.
Let me
You
do
saw
it. I'll fix all the things.
in 8 years. Wow.
Watch me. Hold my beer.
We've been doing this show for 8 years. Still haven't fixed it. For the record, what did he say? For the record, I have never attacked them. So oftentimes I have, and especially in the last election, I feel like I have not attacked anyone, but I feel like I get attacked. Does that not happen to anybody else? I feel like I come through with like, this is why I feel like this person should be elected. And then I get, you suck. And you're like, okay, what?
Well, that's the problem, though, is that with this last election, every single Trump supporter just usually resorted to name calling because that's all they had. They literally had no facts, nothing to back up anything. So they just resort to name calling and being dicks. So
I like what Guido said. Admittedly, we have some fucked up flavor baked into the nation, and that is true.
Guido, amen.
But how do you change that? You vote for the people that are on the stride to progress. You vote for those people that are standing by those policies that you want to see changed for the better. You stand by and vote for those people that are bringing your community together, not dividing them. And I want to say that after this election is over, we still need to vote. We need to vote all the time. We don't need to necessarily vote like it's an emergency like we did this time, but we do need, I can't tell you how many times every state reporters at, we have record numbers. Mm-hmm. We should have had record numbers ages ago. We should have, most of us been given the right to vote. And if you haven't, you need to fight. You need to find that elected official that will say, these people over here, they're not getting their voices heard. Let's go. Just like today in Georgia, the people didn't feel like their voices were heard. I can't tell you how proud I am of that.
And Shannon says, vote in every election. Everyone matters. School board on up. Everything. Local elections. Everything. These are the people that create the policies in your town, in your city, in your borough, in your state. These are the people that will directly affect you. Some of the stuff that happens, in Washington may not directly affect you in different ways or whatever. But a lot of the local shit, that's stuff that will have fairly instant and immediate and direct effects on you.
So I want to say one thing that is so minimal. So you know how your street may get new lights or something of that nature? That starts in your city.
Yep.
And people are doing it. And if you say, oh, well, fuck that, it's just a little election. Okay, you didn't get streetlights on your street, but the candidate that didn't want the streetlights won. That's your fault.
Our roads, you know how our roads are always fucked up here in Arizona? Yeah. That's because
there are people
budget
that
into
fight
things
for that.
right. And we keep putting the budget into things that make no fucking sense, but whatever, it's cool.
I mean, I read so many bios and what they're fighting for. My head started to spin. So, what did Guido say? Oh, 2022 midterms. Vote the people who made today happen out. Correct. Because the next time, if they don't face some kind of consequences, they're going to come in harder.
Yep.
There's rumor that douchebag is going to try to run for president or for governor. Not sure. And then Agent Orange is, if he doesn't get arrested by then, is saying that he is going to run in 2024. So, if you don't think that matters, the way you vote, it does. Guido, Ted Cruz was out with goons in 2013, having them throw barricades on the White House lawn. He is fundraising on today's stunt. What's the next? Oh my gosh, Ted Cruz was?
Yep.
I never liked that guy anyway. He was a little bit two-faced. Even if I'm not Republican, he is two-faced. He flips so quick.
Yeah,
because remember he was like, I hate Trump. Now he's like, oh my god, you guys need to support him.
You're welcome.
Oh, I like this last comment.
Thank you, Guido. Oh Lord. All right, we are way over time.
Are we? Oh damn. Wow. And you guys are
slow news days and we just start rambling and talking about nothing, you know.
You guys are so engaging that I totally forgot to check the clock. These people are who ultimately can and do become national leaders.
Yes.
Speaking of the people that are local, they move on up slowly and creep their way up.
Yep.
Yes, he does need to be accountable, but he's not the only one. He also, just go check his Twitter. Don't tag me though. I don't feel like
tag me in everything. She loves it.
Oh gosh, not really. Let's see. We have nothing at this moment coming up, but we are continuing to raise funds for our show so we can
try to upgrade so that things won't die anytime in the near future. Because
this is the only laptop I have, and I'm trying to hold on to it for as long as I can. But I think streaming will kill it.
Shit dies, we're screwed.
I'll be doing it for library.
Right.
Shh. Let's see.
So tonight, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us on Let's Have a Fefe.
Because we're in the library.
So,
oh my gosh.
Politics today. Like it'd be bad. It would just not be good.
They would be like, ew. Question for us.
Joan apparently has a question because she's back 20 minutes after we should have logged off.
It's because she was baking. If it's about your mask, they'll be in the mail. I heard from Kat today. They'll be in the mail.
Excellent.
Especially since I had to tell Kat that I was like, oh yeah, we're doing this fundraiser and you're going to be making shirts. Is that the question?
Do you want us to tell you when you can go back to working? I don't. What do we?
I don't give out medical advice because I really am not good at it.
I will give out all the medical advice. I can totally play a doctor.
You can do it. You can pretend to be president too.
I absolutely can. We've had somebody pretending to be president for 4 years.
Oh my god, that's so sweet.
Oh, we could totally do that. We could do like an auction or something. That would be amazing.
But wait, let me look at the jewelry. I'm just kidding.
Right? We would have to look and see if there's anything that we think. No, that would be amazing, Joan. That would be phenomenal. Thank you.
Wow. What?
Look at that, guys.
Wow.
All
And the
y'all would be able to get your hands on some really awesome jewelry. And Joan makes nice jewelry. I know because I actually got a piece for my lady friend for Christmas.
Oh. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. You're down for an auction? Oh, how do we do that? We'll talk about it.
The same way the queens do like jewelry auctions and
I
shit.
don't lump me into a group, okay? God, that's so rude. Okay, Joan, I will send you a message. That sounds, yes, we could totally do that.
I would
We
love
could
that. That
totally
would be
do
awesome. Thank you.
I'm loving this hair.
Who, mine or yours?
I like yours too, but if you leave
So-
it here, it will stay here.
So it's cool if I borrow your hair, right?
No, that's not cultural appropriate.
Whatever. Vikings had braids.
Ooh, let me go ahead and end this episode now.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Subscribe to the Let's Have a Fefe podcast. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher. See you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. This has been Let's Have a Fefe. Good night.